my friends. I'm just making a video that you've probably seen many times before if you searched up for this video, and now it's my turn to pass on the torch and make my accepted portfolio video. So my portfolio was accepted to MICA, Maryland Institute College of Art, SCAD, Savannah College of Art and Design, and MassArt, Massachusetts College of Art and Design. And on Common App, I always clicked illustration whenever I picked the major, so I don't remember for each school whether or not they consider the major you chose, but yeah, so this is kind of more like an illustrative portfolio, and I also got scholarships from each institution. So some non-art related stats. I'm not going to say my actual scores just because privacy, but I got between a 1300 and a 1600 on the SAT, a 28 to a 36 on the ACT. I passed 5 different AP exams. I participated in National Honor Society, National Spanish Honor Society, National Art Honor Society. And for National Art Honor Society, I was president. For Environmental Club, I was co-president. I also have a job, so I guess that shows maturity. I also have multiple art awards at the regional level throughout high school, and I also have academic awards on the national level throughout high school. So getting onto my portfolio is 14 pieces, and most schools require 12 to 20, so I'm on the smaller side of portfolio. So my first piece, and this is in the order that I submitted it to Slide Room. My first piece is, I don't have any names for these pieces just because I made them without like needing to name them, if that makes sense, because they weren't going to be like exhibited or anything. But this next piece, it just has 3 heads, and I'll be reading the Slide Room description as well that I put, because I think that those are pretty important, because you need to show like the context and like the meaning, or like what you were going for, or maybe like your process. That's like a good place to put that. So I just said a triptych to represent that each person is 3-dimensional, nuanced, and complex. The 3 are portraits of Black women. They have risen above media perception and the newspaper background, and above the connotations that come with their skin color. So really just about like, I literally just said what it's about. My next piece is just a still life, and I think I'll either be putting like either just flashing the picture above, or I don't know, maybe putting it like right here or something. I don't know. Anyway, my next piece is a still life. And I said this is a still life of items I used to create on my daily after-school adventures before the pandemic began. And this is all in graphite on Bristol. And then the last piece was paper, Sharpie, pen, and cardboard. So my third piece, I'm just looking like at the pieces to read the description on Slide Room. It's a charcoal still life. This one, like, I wasn't that passionate about, and I don't think it really looks all that great. Like, this isn't me self-deprecating. This is me just like looking at it. I think I had a lot of trouble blending the charcoal on like paper with less tooth on it. It was like, you know how Bristol is. It's very like flat. There isn't much texture to the paper for like the charcoal to grab onto, so it was just kind of hard for me to blend it, but you can definitely tell where the light source is. It's very dramatic. So my Slide Room description is, this is a still life of letters from my closest friends and family that I drew to encourage others to send letters in order to support the USPS. Alright, next is my life drawing, which I did this at a summer program. I didn't have any additional details for this just because it's a life drawing. Like, what am I supposed to say about it? There wasn't any grand meaning or any reason why I did it. I was at a summer program and I wanted to learn life drawing, so that's what I did. Also, I should probably be saying the sizes. Okay, so the first piece, back to the 3 heads, that was 36 inches by 12 inches. The still life with the camera was 18 inches by 24 inches. The letters drawing was 9 inches by 12 inches. And this still life is 18 inches by 24 inches. So they're all like, you know, moderately sized pieces. Nothing too big, nothing too small. My next piece is also cryptic, and it's triptych, not cryptic. Not Bitcoin, baby. Anyway, my next piece is just another triptych. Was Bristol and acrylic paint. It's just like stuff from the bathroom. So my slide room description is stylized Snapchats. Wow, my brain. I am actually Gen Z. I don't even have Snapchat. I've never used the app. But wow. Anyway, okay, so it says stylized snapshots of my bathroom created using a flower/bacterium stencil I made to create a sense of unity and ambiguity. The viewer can choose to see the flower wallpaper in the bathroom or the bacteria all over their room. And this was like literally created during COVID-19, so yep. Yeah, because they're all like either 3 or 4 petal flowers, so they kind of look like blobbish at times, which I think kind of adds to it. My favorite one is like the center. I don't know, I just feel like that could be like in a magazine or something, which is what I want to do. I want to do editorial illustration, so let's keep it going to the next piece. Oh my gosh, why isn't it working? What's going on? Oh, okay. I forgot how to use the internet for a second. Okay. Next piece is made with colored pencil. It's 9 inches by 12 inches. Oops. Alright. And it just says stylized illustration of Osaka Castle in Japan. And I was experimenting with mark making with the clouds, the sky, the trees, and the bushes. I can't tell if they could tell that from the picture, but I really was trying. It's not one of like, I wouldn't say it's the strongest piece, but it definitely shows like character and personality, because like a lot of the first pieces were very like realistic and like black and white. So on to the next piece is photography, so it doesn't have a physical size. And my slide room what's it called, description is, this is a self-portrait taken using slow shutter speed, then edited in Photoshop to bring out the shadows more and to slightly desaturate the photo. The blur does not allow the viewer to connect directly with subject, gaze into her eyes, but simply challenge the viewer to accept that they will never truly see anyone, including themselves, clearly. So this was one of the more like deeper ones that I think is strong conceptually, but maybe not as strong technically, just because I am very, very amateur Photoshop user and a very, very amateur photographer. And again, this is like critique, not self-deprecation. It's not like bad, it's just like it could be stronger, but I still very much like it. And I put this on Instagram, and I was very proud when I first took it. I was like, wow, go Morgan. So, you know, looking back, I can say, here's some things I can improve. So definitely growing. Yay. Next piece is just another photo. All my photos were grouped together, and the oh my goodness, why can't I talk? The slide room description is, this is a photo of a young child exploring the beach as the seemingly calm waves approach them. It was edited in Photoshop to bring out the shadows and saturate the colors to define the form of the child. The towering shadows, whose owners are not seen, remind the viewer that the child's exploration is supervised despite its potential danger. This is not a stranger child. I know this child, like, I am related to this child, like, biologically. So I'm not just like taking pictures of children without like their parents' consent. Like, yeah. But also, like, if you are sending in pictures of other people, make sure that like their face is not seen, and make sure that you don't have their name on it. But anyway, yeah. What I was gonna say is that in the little slide room like description things, try to use the elements and principles of art vocabulary, and just show that you kind of know something, like even if it's like color theory, composition, or like, you know, elements and principles, or like say where you got your idea from, or who inspired you, or like if it's telling a story or not. So I feel like even with the photography, it's kind of like illustrative, like the meaning of it is somewhat, you know, story-like. And I forgot who told me this, but they're saying like with an illustration portfolio, make sure you show people doing things, because people doing things is a story. So even if you don't have a strong concept, if you're drawing a person writing, that's a story, right? Like illustratively, that's a story. It's like someone's doing something, because it shows like character and you can play with color. Anyway, next piece is also a photo. So I had 3 photos in here, 2 of which were self-portraits, mostly because I'm the most readily available human to myself, and I don't charge anything to photograph myself. For myself to photograph myself, it's free. For other people, money, baby. Anyway, so this slide room description is, this is a self-portrait that was intentionally left unedited and taken around the time I cut off all my hair and turned 17. I used the blinds to direct the viewer's eyes towards my new hair and to convey my confidence with the raw style, and the pearl earring as a sense of femininity in an otherwise androgynous subject, just because like you can't really tell physically that I'm a girl, but like I think I still look like a girl, and then I have the earring and stuff, but like the hair kind of like balances out the feminine and the masculine, and then you add the earring to like push it to the feminine side. Here's a GIF. I really don't know if I'll be able to show this, and I also don't know if it actually ever uploaded into Slideroom, being that when I went into Slideroom, I put in the GIF, and if you're in Slideroom, like you'll know that you can see the picture as you're writing your description, but this was just a white screen, and like it would say, oh, upload complete, but then the screen is still white, and it would say like changes saved, but the screen is still white. So I really don't know if colleges actually ever saw this, just because when I was uploading it, like I could never tell what was going on. And I also don't know if I'll be able to even put the GIF in here, but since I couldn't know if the GIF went, I tried to make my slide room description more descriptive instead of more like concept meaning wise. So I put, this is a loop GIF of a child enjoying an autumn tire swing ride as she is more in touch with nature, hence the antlers with autumn leaves. So if you can imagine that in your big brain, that's what it is. Next piece. This is a wrapping paper design that I did, and I'm very, very proud of it. I might even like do a process video of this, but basically what you did is, why did I get into like a British accent just then? Anyway, so you take Bristol, you draw a whole bunch of things on a whole sheet of Bristol paper, then you cut everything out, and then you take another sheet of Bristol and you trace around the things, and then you cut it in half vertically, and then you switch the things, then you trace more little drawings in the center, then you cut it horizontally, and then flip. You cut it horizontally and then flip the things, and then you fill up the space in the center, and then it'll be a like geometric tessellation repeating pattern design. So that's what I made. I'm so proud of myself. This is also kind of the area of illustration I want to get into. It's like wrapping paper. I like that's pretty cool, especially like when I saw my own prints to design my own wrapping paper. Very, very cool. Something I want to do, something I'm going to do. Anyway, so my slide room description was a wrapping paper design meant to highlight the energy of the city of New Orleans and showcase what makes it unique. So I basically just put all the tourist spots, and I think with this one, I'm very, very proud of myself. I just think that with this one, like the energy thing, it pops out with the color, but with the background color being like pale blue, it kind of like evens out the excitement maybe. So if I were to do it again, I guess I might change the color. All right, the next piece is, it's a paper cutting piece. So I just took huge, by huge, I mean like 12 by 14, 12 by 16, like sheets of drawing paper. And I took Sharpie. I have not been saying, oh wait, but those are all digital. So it's not like there was an actual like physical medium. Anyway, this is Bristol Sharpie. So I just drew the objects, then I cut it out using an X-Acto knife, and then I glued it onto a huge sheet of Bristol. And then here is my, did I actually put that? Wow. So it's, the slide room description is going clockwise, starting with the window, are the things I grab as I head out the door to go on a walk in the forest behind my house. Once I see the morning light pour in, I grab my camera to capture anything that compels me to capture it. Slip on my cat-eye sunglasses, put on my orthopedic shoes, and grab my adventure sack. It was created in black and white in order to emphasize the form and to make the otherwise random collection of objects into a more cohesive story. So that's what I was saying about being kind of illustrative with the work, at least like since I'm going for an illustration major. I also love all the detail in the shoes and like how you can tell that the blinds are like flipping. I think it's very, very cool. Then my next piece, so that was everything that I submitted to MICA. Okay, so up to that point is the order for MICA, SCAD, and MassArt. So this next piece was only submitted to SCAD and MassArt just because the MICA early action deadline was before SCAD and MassArt deadline. So I did not finish this piece because this piece was done like winter break of 2020, and I turned in that portfolio earlier, but anyway, here's this piece. It's well, yeah, you can see what the piece is already. Anyway, it says, this is a portrait of a Creole woman of pre-20th century New Orleans. The magnolias symbolize her beauty. In the gold tignon, which is the head wrap, in the violet dress, symbolize her confidence and how she sees herself as royalty in spite of the conclusions of her white counterparts who have yet to see her as more than a black woman. And then, so that piece was only submitted to SCAD and MassArt, and then this last piece was submitted to all 3 schools. And it's, okay, so this slide room description is, I'm literally having so much trouble using Google Photos. Like, why can't I do it? Anyway, I said I used a collage of an old map to represent how both the city of New Orleans and jazz music are a mix of various cultures. I also chose to illustrate a young musician in order to convey jazz tradition being continually passed on to the younger generation. So again, whether it's concept or whether it's actual like the technical execution, again, there's like a story about it. And yeah, so that was my illustration portfolio. Got me scholarships from all 3 schools. And then I also already said my extracurriculars, so don't be, a one-trick pony that's only doing art. Like, try to engage in like at least 2 or 3 other activities. And I wish you good luck on your portfolio submissions. And the last thing I need to tell you is, do not compare your portfolios to the ones that you see on the internet. I remember I used to do that. And I would think, oh, well, this got into RISD, or this got into wherever, and this got into CalArts, and this got into Ringling, and I didn't even know what I was talking about. I was just like, I need to make art that looks like this because this is the art that got into that school. But at the end of the day, I just ended up making art that I like, and it got me into schools that I like. And soon I will be announcing where I'm going. So be on the lookout. But anyway, also don't use this video to compare yourself. I would hate to contribute to that negative cycle of like comparing your art to other artists, because that's just not how the world works. That's just not how it should be. I know I was wrapping up, but I just remembered that I did not say the medium. So for the piece that was only submitted to SCAD and MassArt, that was paper, oil pastel, and white charcoal. And then the last piece that I said, that was pen, map, and paper. Now back to me wrapping it up. Yeah, just don't compare your art to my art. It took me a long time to stop comparing. And by a long time, I mean like since I was in 6th grade, and I stopped comparing my art to other people's art maybe like a year ago. But now whenever I catch myself like falling back into those old patterns, I'm like, well, what is it about that art that you like? And what can you add on to that? Instead of letting it be a self-destructive thing, let it be a thing that builds you up and makes you to a better artist. So if you see some art that you like, really think about what you like about that art. And then when you're sketching that day, try to bring in those elements, and you'll grow as an artist. So I wish you good luck on your college portfolio, art school, pursuits. I hope that you get in wherever you want to go. And I hope you have a great day. So good vibes and goodbye.